our channel, A Trade of View. I'm your girl Amy.
And I'm your girl One. Don't forget to subscribe to us today, guys, and click that bell to be the first to see our videos.
And today's guest is Marlo from M.Barrett's Property Solutions. Round of applause.
Welcome, Marlo.
Welcome.
Hi.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Can you explain what it is that you do?
So, I'm a managing director of a building and maintenance company, M.Barrett's Property Solutions. And it's just general building work and general maintenance work of properties, and also domestic, but we do cover commercial properties as well.
So what kind of things does that include?
So,
break it down for us that don't understand.
Let's say on the building side, we cover extensions, loft conversions. On the maintenance side, roofing, carpentry, joinery. If you wanted like a bathroom renovation or a kitchen renovation, that's one of the maintenance.
Or a walk-in wardrobe for the women.
We do that as well.
So anything to do with the house come to you?
Yeah, that's it.
What about the garden as well?
We also do landscaping as well, and we also have a cleaning side attached to the business as well.
Okay.
So yeah,
a one-stop
shop.
Y'all heard that? No excuses. So when did you realise that you wanted a career in building and property maintenance?
Good question. I can't say the exact year, but basically before I got into the building trade and stuff, I was all about sports. So like every young boy, you think you're going to be football and whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, was that around school times?
Yeah.
So in school, you wasn't really thinking about getting into property. That just wasn't on your mind at all.
No.
Or that came after school.
Yeah.
Right.
So I suppose I'll tell you the funny story.
Tell us the story.
So when I was in school and that, it was just more about football. You know, you think you're going to play with your friends, you're going to get signed by your team, you're going to make it, whatever, do your family proud. Weren't thinking about nothing to do with the building trade. So when I even went to uni, so I've done school, went to college, went to uni, studied sports development, come back from uni, and then couldn't get a job in sports and whatnot. So I was thinking, man, this is long, I need to get some money in and whatnot. So a friend of mine, he had a landscaping business, so I started working with him, and he started showing me a few things, and I kind of liked it. But prior to that, so in school, my uncle had his own landscaping business as well, and he used to take me sometimes to do some jobs with him and whatever. So it was kind of natural for me to kind of slot in with my brethren's landscaping company. So I think I'd done that for about a year, and then I wanted to learn a trade. So
how old was you, like when you was?
I must have been about 19 or 20 at this point. Yeah. And when I went to a company called Keep Homes to do a carpentry apprenticeship. So that took 2 years. But in between that, I was doing other courses. So I was doing like night courses on tiling, painting and decorating, all these different stuff.
Oh wow.
Covering all bases then?
Yeah, all the bases and that. And I was doing what we call foreigners in the building trade. Basically just means part-time work on a weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. You know what? I was driving at the time, and I was just packing up my car with tools and that and stuff on the weekend, and just going out doing jobs for people, and like I said, doing other training and stuff. And then I met on my training course, I met a guy who his dad was a builder. Yeah. So then me and him became good friends, and then his dad started to take us on jobs and whatever on the weekend, and just learned more and more
just by
stuff.
Watching.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just watching what they're doing, picking up quite quick. Then when I finished my apprenticeship, I worked for a bit, like self-employed, doing bits and bobs. Then the company phoned me back to say, would you want to come in for a managerial course, get trained up and whatever. Okay. So I went back to the company, and they put me on a managerial course, and I've done that for about 2 years as well. So I'm around about 23 or 24 around these times. So I got my qualifications from that. Then just went out in the world, started kind of working, doing just jobs here, jobs there, working with different building companies, blah, blah, blah. Then about, I think I was 20, when I get married? Got married at the age of 26.
Oh.
No, 25, sorry.
We love to see it.
Yeah, I got married at the age of 25.
You heard that? 25 is not too young. I'm just saying. Sorry.
It's alright, to be fair. With Keep Not Homes, yeah, I was with them till I was about, my son was born when I was 26. So yeah, when I was 26, which was 2017, yeah, my son was getting born that year, but I weren't getting along with my contracts manager at Keep Not. So I said to my, basically at this point I was building up a clientele that eventually I am gonna go into business and you know, do my own thing kind of thing. But you know, you're at that point where you're just not sure. Don't make the joke or not. Yeah. And like I said, my wife was pregnant, so like in my head I'm thinking I can't start a business this year. You know what I mean? I need some kind of stability, man. So anyway, February came. No, was it March? I think it was March I left. So anyway, March came and we had like a big bus up, whatever. So I went home the night and I said to the wife, you know what, I'm leaving, you know, I'm just going to do my own thing. She's like, are you mad? Are you crazy? It just went off in our house. Just totally went off. But, you know, you just make up your mind to do something. You just got to do it. So then, I just made the jump. 2017, made the jump. Started out self-employed. Never had no idea about business. Nothing, not even a clue how to register a company. Yeah, all self-taught.
So what did you do to self-teach yourself? Like, did you go online?
Nah, you know what? Just like I've got a lot of connections in construction, so I had other people that had their business up and running, kind of thing. So I'm kind of talking to them and finding out certain things. How did you do this? How did you do that? What did you do?
That's a smart way.
Yeah, because they're in the field already. You know what I mean?
Because people to ask.
Yeah. So that's how I kind of taught myself a little bit. Well, enough to get me started.
Yeah.
And I was like what you call a sole trade at the time. And I was doing mostly landscaping stuff. And people kept saying to me, oh, do you know an electrician? Do you know a plumber? Yeah. Do you know a plasterer? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I do, you know. So then I started to bring other people to jobs and stuff and whatever. And then I started to meet other business people. And they were like, well, why don't you turn it into an actual business? Because you don't think of it as a business. All you know is that you're working, you earn money. Et cetera, et cetera. And so I just started to bring these different people in, bit by bit. Then other people kept saying to me, well, did you know you can make money off them? So in that terms, it means someone will come and do a job for me, but there'll be a business rate attached to that. Yeah. Because you come into a company now, you're not coming to just Marlo anymore. Yeah. Whatever, you know what I mean? So then it kind of started to formulate, and I don't know if you guys have this, but you know, when you're surrounded by, or when you have a certain mentality, you tend to surround yourself around those kind of people. That kind of environment, whatever. And it just, that's what I'm saying. I can't tell you dates, but I can just tell you that things has transformed and my environment changed and the people who I talk to are different. They're no longer my brethrens that I necessarily grew up with. I still keep in contact with them, but every day I'm on the phone to different business people, different companies, and we're all networking and whatever.
It's really good,
It's growth though, you're like innovating, so you can't stay in the same place.
Same place, Exactly. So man, it grew a lot quicker than I expected anyway. A lot quicker. And I'm kind of just here now.
Praise God.
So would you say that you've now got a passion for what you do?
Yeah. So sorry, I was meant to tell you why that's a funny story. You kind of just took it out of me. So a bit of background about me. So my dad lives in America. Yeah. Now, growing up, my dad's always been in business, but he does the wholesale. I've only known him to do wholesale business and whatnot. So when I was getting into construction and I started to do these courses and whatever, my mum says, did you know your dad used to be a cabinet maker? Says, no, I've never seen him pick up a saw in my life. Ever. Like, never ever seen my dad pick up a tool or whatever. So then started telling me more like about what he used to do, like when they met and what he used to do and whatever. And I'm like, nah, I didn't even know all this and whatnot. So then I started to speak to my dad about it. And like I said, he lives in America, so I haven't seen him for years until I got married. So anyway. But remember, I'm doing all of this before I got married, so yeah, I'm just trying to find out what he knows and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, when he did come to my wedding, he's telling me like he used to run his own construction company and everything, and he's a carpenter by trade. And, well, the thing is, I never knew none of this, but it's mad how it all kind of just...
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle to me. So now I'm on the phone talking to him and he's in America. I could just say to him, oh, you know what, Dad, I dug out a foundation today, but I've got a problem, and he's solving the problems for me and whatnot. And I'm like,
wow, that's
crazy.
It's meant to be. That's definitely that story there.
Yeah, man, for real. So like, last year, my wife left her full-time job to come and join me in the business.
Oh yes.
But when I got to that point,
I love that.
so,
Legacy.
Yeah, when I got to that stage, and I was telling my dad, he was like, that's where he got to, and that's where him and Mum kind of split and whatever.
Okay.
And he says, it's mad that I've done that in less than 3 years, and it took him about 8 years to where he got to that point.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying, it grew quicker than I expected, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like I've kind of passed where he got to, and then now I'm trying to get to
another stage.
Imagine that.
level.
Granddad was in construction, daddy's in construction. Now I'm going to be in construction. Kids.
Yeah, he just goes down.
And did you say you had a son? Or?
Yeah, my son,
Oh,
more than likely, he's going to be...
Legacy.
That's how it should be.
Another thing with my son as well, he's only 3, but he loves diggers.
Oh, yeah.
Every time. Honestly, wait, don't have the video no more, but there's actually a video of him trying to mow the lawn and stuff. So I'm mowing the lawn and I'm raking up the leaves and stuff, and he's trying to push the lawn.
It's in the blood, baby.
It comes through, innit?
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the funny story behind it.
It was a funny story.
We got there.
Okay, so what was the first property that you worked on? Do you remember?
Being in business.
It could be in business, or it could even be like your house. The first time you just got your hands dirty, got your toolbox out.
Wow. You know what? That's a mad question. Actually. First property. I think it was probably my mum's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until this day, I'm still working at my mum's house. She always has something.
Marlo!
The latest is a kitchen drawer. I'm like, Mum's buying you kitchen.
Big up, mums.
Sorry, man. Yeah, probably my mum's house, if I can remember. Yeah, I think so.
So do you have any inspirations within your field then?
In construction?
Yeah.
You know what? No. There's actually no inspirations, but there's goals that... So I operate on a pyramid. So like, there's a pyramid in front of my computer at home. And at the bottom of the pyramid is like an investment stage. So I've got like different layers in the pyramid where the investment takes you to kind of thing. So you invest your money there, it takes to that level. You invest your money there, it takes to that level kind of thing. So the ultimate goal is I want to get to the stage where I'm building my own houses. So I kind of buy the land, build on them, sell them to whoever. And then I have a supply chain next to it. So the supply chain supplies the houses and it kind of turns the business around.
Wow.
So
That's big.
Definitely.
Did you learn that at uni, or
No.
is that something you picked up along the way?
Yeah, just...
like your pyramid?
Yeah, no, the pyramid thing's just something that kind of comes to me. But I know people have their own pyramids and stuff, but when I got into construction, I had a plan of where I'm trying to kind of go with it. So originally the plan was get my qualifications, earn a lot of money. When it turned into a business, it was like, well, the business has to kind of elevate somewhere. So then I started to map out, if I focus on, let's say, kitchens and bathrooms, how much money can that turn out a year? If I focus on extensions and loft conversions, how much money can that turn out a year, kind of thing. But then once I get the money in, well, where do you put it? Do you know what I mean? To then go to the next level. So then I just started to map stuff out. And then I just come up with a pyramid. A pyramid is just the best way to kind of work it out.
It's a good way of looking at it, really.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when you started out, as you said, when you first took the leap and you was doing it for yourself, did you come across any problems where you was like maybe underpricing yourself, undercutting yourself? And, what?
That's a big one, man. Yeah. Underpricing's one. Organising yourself is the other.
Yeah.
And honestly, till this day, I still struggle with the organising part because, again, in business, sometimes you try and take a lot on by yourself.
Yeah.
And my wife always said to me, like, Marlo, you need to start putting things on paper. When you can see it on paper, you can start ticking off things. I've done this, I've done that. Pricing was another one. So, for example, if you said to me, you need to put a door on, when can I do it? How much is it? Blah, blah, blah. Usually in my head I'll be like, oh, it's only a door, so I'll go there, it's a quick thing. You know, this is a price, whatever. But when you get to the job, it's a whole different kettle of fish. So, well, it was more my wife that said to me, you know what, just stop giving quotes.
Till you get there.
Till you get there and see the job.
Makes sense.
Sounds like
Just stop it. And then I kind of had to discipline myself of saying, you know what, I can't give you a price now until I see the job.
Yeah.
Then I can, but sometimes I still try it though, like.
So, I understand.
You know what I mean?
So what happens, even if it's a bigger job like a loft conversion, and you know, or a job where you need a team to do it, and have you ever underpriced that kind of job where you end up kind of having to pay money out of your own pocket to pay? That happens.
100%. I remember once I'd done a loft conversion, and it was my first loft conversion, and you kind of know what to expect, but there's a lot of things you don't expect to happen, kind of thing. And that job alone, I think I ran over about $6,000 in budget that you're having to pay out and whatever. But it was a big lesson. Yeah. But there's other jobs where I've gone over even 15K kind of thing. So that was a bigger lesson. But that was a commercial project, so that was my first commercial project. And all these lessons you kind of put together and you say, you know what, that will never happen again. But then something else will come along.
That's it.
And it's, as you do different projects. But the good thing is now, I'm at that stage now where there's nothing in construction that well, not saying nothing, but majority of stuff in construction, I'm okay pricing because I've already made all these mistakes. So I know what to expect, kind of thing. But yeah, man.
So can you tell us, what was the process like of starting up the company? I know you took the leap, but what steps did you take? I know you said you was building slowly. Yeah. But what was like the first thing you did? Second?
Well, the first thing was finding out how... the first thing was finding a name. So the company used to be called Barrett's Property Solutions, just that. That was as a sole trader. So when I wanted to become a limited company, the name was taken already. So what I did then, I changed it to M.Barrett's Property Solutions, and then just the M in front so I can have the name. And then obviously you've got to do all your insurances. And again, I didn't know anything about insurances, so my first insurance I think covered me for like $1 million. But then when you tender in for certain jobs, they're like, now you got to have 5 million minimum and whatnot. So now it's at 10 million, because when you got the bigger the jobs, the more your insurance has to cover, kind of thing. So
because are you covering people as well as your tools and
stuff like that, and public liability as well. So if anyone walks onto the site and there's an accident, they're covered. That doesn't mean anyone can walk on the site. There's an accident.
Where's the sign again?
But insurances, your health and safety is a big one with construction. So, you know what, it's just today. So we've got a new guy started Friday, and I was, we work over the weekend sometime as well. So I was saying to him earlier today that I pay a lot for my health and safety, but the reason I pay a lot is because someone does it for me, and every time I need it altered, they come out on site, check this, check that, and alter it for me. So some people do their own, but I prefer to pay like a governing body to sort it for me. So yeah, health and safety, so insurances, and then you was kind of just ready to go.
How hard was it to take all those steps and measures, and to get out there and actually start it?
Those were the hard parts. So I've never struggled with getting work in. I think people kind of buy me before they buy the business or whatever kind of thing. So I can always kind of tell whether I've got the job or not before they accept the price kind of thing. But the part that, like I said, is when I started business, I never had a clue. So the background stuff that like people don't see, like health and safety insurances, the admin, that is just not my forte kind of thing. So I'd rather pay someone to do that so I know it's covered. So like when my wife joined us, that was a load off my head. Couldn't use Excel, none of that. You know what I mean? Didn't have a clue. So even till this day, sometimes she's showing me stuff. I'm like, and she gets proper stressed out with me, but you know what it is, it's all a process. You gotta learn it when you can, or when you got time to sit down and learn it. But man.
So how did you go about building your team then?
The team, so because when I was saying, when I was with chemo, I met a lot of people. So some of those people used to come out and help me and do bits and bobs for me. But the thing is, they're dedicated to their work. So I started to look for like people within the family, friends would recommend someone else, and kind of went about it that way. Now you got obviously check a trade and my builder and all of that, so you're exposed to more builders and trades and stuff. But
back then it was harder.
It was a bit harder.
So what's the most challenging part of the building company and the property maintenance?
Staff. Managing staff, honestly. Toughest part, I think. So our staff base is quite big. So we've got full-time staff, and we've got apprentices, and we've got subcontractors.
Oh, you got apprentices. You heard that? We got apprentices.
And we've got subcontractors as well. So trying to organise everyone, and I don't know.
Sounds like a lot.
Was it hard as well during everything that's going on now? How did you get past those difficulties with COVID and
We're still in here.
COVID was just faith and belief, man. I think a lot of people gave up. A lot of businesses fell under as well. And I kept saying to my wife, no man, like, things are going to turn around and we're going to get out of it, we're going to build back, we're going to, you know what I mean, get back to work and whatever. So, because we had to make a lot of sacrifices, like we got rid of our offices, vans, stuff like that. We had to sell off some of our assets to kind of tie us over and whatever. But I think, when did COVID start? March. I think it might have been about May or something when things started to pick up a bit more. And we started to get back out there working. And then as soon as Boris says, you know, construction can go back, the phone ain't stopped. It's just been
still
praise
God.
still
Won't he do it?
At the moment, we're booked up till January, February. So praise the Lord.
Definitely. Yes.
So how involved are you in the day-to-day building? Do you get your hands dirty? Are you there grinding?
100%.
Okay.
100%. And that's what causes the argument sometimes between me and my wife, because she just wants me to manage. But because I know how to do majority of the work, if someone lets me down, I just go and grab some tools and put some clothes on, and then that's it. And they're working and whatnot. So Yeah, I pretty much get hands-on still. I just choose the days. If I know I can't make it one day, then I'll try and get someone in. If I can't, then
you'll do it.
I'll do it, yeah.
So you say that you subcontract, you get people in. How would somebody contact you in order to work with you? What would they have to do in order
to try and
to partner with you?
Well, how I usually go about it is, well, you can get my number on our Facebook pages or Instagram pages or our website, anything like that. But let's say, you know, you get in contact with me, I tend to go out and see your work, see how you are, and then, yeah, you know, I'm happy with it. So then I'll have you on one of our jobs and see, it's probably something small to see how you get on and whatnot. Because the difference is, when you kind of one-man band, you kind of pick and choose your job. So, you know, you might do a job this week, but you don't have to do a job the week after. Yeah. Whereas with a business like ours, clients are booked in. So like, you finish a job Friday, you're on to another job Monday, and so forth. So yeah, it's a bit different with how I try and recruit. When I recruit, I gotta know that you're willing to kind of jump from one job to the next, rather than you're gonna finish Friday and you're gonna say, "Oh man, I can't work next week. I'm tired."
Because then you need to find somebody else.
Then I gotta find someone else. Yeah. So, because I can kind of fill your diary, you see. So, if I know you don't have your personal work booked in, then I'll book you in for one of our jobs or something. So, yeah, man. Tell them to call me. We're always looking for trades and whatever.
Okay. Tell them what trades you'd like.
If you're a carpenter, plumber, gas engineer, electrician, painter, if you're good with drainage, groundworks, landscaping, we're definitely looking for another landscaper at the moment. So yeah, man, give me a call.
A lot of job opportunities there.
Y'all heard it first. Do you branch outside of Birmingham?
Yeah, so furthest we've been is up to Leeds. Oh, we've done London as well. So yeah, we go quite far.
That's quite far, that is Leeds.
Yeah. If it's worth it though.
Yeah.
Leeds was a big care.
Disclaimer.
If it's worth it.
So what advice would you give to anyone that wanted to follow in your footsteps or go in the direction of property?
In the building trade?
Yeah.
As in they want to start a business or they just want
as
to get
in
involved?
You're doing it, they've seen you're doing it, they're like, oh, you're inspiring, I want to do that. You're giving them the steps, the tools, but what other advice would you give them?
Probably do a business course if you can, and if obviously, you know, finance allows you to do that. Because that's where I made most of my mistakes, the early parts of business, because I didn't know it, like I said. And I think, I don't know, it depends on the situation. So I think those things had to happen to me for me to learn the hard way to get to where I am. But if you can avoid it, you'll save money, and then that might be able to push you further than where I'm at. You know what I mean? You don't know any until something happens. You don't really know. But if you can learn a business course, do a lot of research into like the trade you want to get into, and probably be able to do the work as well yourself in case you are let down. You can do the work yourself.
That's good advice.
Yeah, but construction's fun, man. Like it's. I just like to see, let's say, a room or a garden taken apart, remodeled and put together, and the finishing. Yeah, man, transforms. I love it.
So, so I take it you're not scared of the cold, then the cold doesn't bother you.
No.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Nah, not at all, man. You know what? Once you're out there and you're working and you're lifting this, you're moving that, and whatever, you're alright. Yeah, the cold ain't bother you. Oh. Not saying it ain't cold, it is cold. But when you get the van some mornings, you're like, oh. Yeah. But nah, you get used to it. Yeah.
So Marlo, how did you build your clientele?
It started from like family, then family would pass it to like their friends, and then their friends would pass it on and stuff like that. So word of mouth's the biggest thing. That's another advice for anyone getting into business. You can do all the advertising and whatever you like, but if your word of mouth client base isn't good enough, it can crumble your business.
It's negative.
Yeah, 100%. So I always try and leave on a good note. You have some clients that annoy you and whatever, but you try and leave on a good note.
You can't please everybody.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, man, word of mouth was my biggest help, 100%. Till this day as well, it still is my biggest help. Yeah.
And where can we find you? What are your socials?
So Instagram, M.Barrett's Property, M.Barrett's Property Solutions, Facebook, M.Barrett's Property Solutions, and websites www.mbps.co.uk.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure. You've shared some good advice for everybody.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, guys, before we go, shout out to our sponsors. Big up Danes Catering for your Caribbean food. He delivers if you're local, does events, weddings, parties, whatever. And also shout out to Say It With Lex for your t-shirt prints, your mugs, your cups, your hand sanitizer, and also K.G Holistic Herbs for your antiviral blend, your mucus-less cleanse blend, and your Seamoss gel. All info will be below in the information box and via our Instagram page, which is A Trade of View 01.
And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Leave any of your comments below, as A said, and we'll see you again soon.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.